Hey everyone, this is another one of my Oneontas videos. If you haven't been to my channel before, I do a crap ton of Oneontas type videos. You can check them out. But today, we're going to be talking about the dorms on SUNY Oneontas campus. There are like 4 types of dorms on SUNY Oneontas campus. There is the freshman dorms, the middle dorms, the apartment ones, and there's the transfer one, which is technically regular middle class, upper class dorms. But we're gonna go through all of them just because I've been getting a lot of questions lately about dorms. So we're gonna go over them just because I know you all are in quarantine, and what else are you gonna watch but Oneontas videos? So let's start with the freshman dorms. There are 5 freshman dorms on campus. There's Hulbert, Golding, Toby, Littell, and Wilbur. So Hulbert is kind of the main one that everyone talks about because there's a dining hall inside of it. They all call it the prison. I lived there back in 2018 and 2019. The dorm was pretty decent. It wasn't like super new compared to the other freshman dorms, but it did have a dining hall, which was super convenient during the winter time when you didn't want to leave your dorm when you had to get food or something like that. So I would always just go in my pajamas and go get breakfast. If you live in another freshman dorm, it's kind of hard to do that. Also about Hulbert, the bus stop is like right there outside of Hulbert. So it's super easy to just like walk over to the bus stop and go. But yeah, Hulbert is also kind of far away. It's on like a weird hill. But it's definitely not like the worst that dorms can go as in like location. Then there's Golding. The rest of these dorms are definitely newer dorms. I don't know when they were redone. I think it might have been like 2015 or something like that. But these ones are closer to the other dining halls, which are Mills and Wills. Golding is also like far down the hill. It's not as close to the bus stops, which is kind of like but when you're a freshman, it doesn't really matter. And then there's Toby. Toby is also a new one. It's close to the Hulbert bus stop, which is very convenient, and close to the Hulbert dining hall, just because they're closer buildings. It's a little bit far from the academic buildings, but it's not too much where it's like the worst experience ever. It's also down the hill, but there's nothing really special about Toby. I'm sure like every hall has like their own mascot and stuff going on, but like I personally was not in Toby, Golding, Littell, or Wilbur, so the most information that I know is about Hulbert, and to be completely honest, I don't even remember what the mascot was, so there you go. Littell is also new. There's like this weird cool meeting area like right outside the dorm, which is cool. I guess like in the beginning of the year you have like barbecues and like play frisbee and stuff like that. It's also a pretty good location. It's kind of like in the middle of the rest of the freshman dorms. It's down the hill. It's a little far from dining halls, but once again, like it's in the middle of the freshman dorms, so like you take one, you leave one. Wilbur is also a newer dorm. It's close to the other dorms. It's the closest one to the academic buildings, which is pretty convenient. But other than that, I rarely hear about Wilbur. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I really had that many friends in Wilbur. It's also down the hill, but it's not as much down the hill. Then there's the quad style, which the freshman dorm, you have one room and you share it with 2 people. Sometimes you can be into a triple, or so sometimes it's a forced triple and sometimes it's like an assigned triple. So like you get a room big enough, or sometimes you're kind of just shoved for like a day or 2. But then there's the quad style, which is a common room and then 2 rooms that fit 2 people in each of the rooms. So it's 4 people living in one like room suite. So the quad style is Ford, Grant, Hayes, and Sherman. I'm not exactly sure, but Huntington might be. I think it might be a suite. But Huntington was under construction this past semester, and I think it won't be open until like 2021, so we don't even have to worry about that one. Quads. Ford is one of the most prime locations to be in a dorm. It's easy, you could just walk up to it. It's close to other dining halls. It's close to academic buildings. It also is very, very, very close to the bus stop because it's like right across the street from it. It's also very close to the library. The only bad things about it is you probably hear a lot of people outside. It's also kind of like if you're on like the first or second floor, it's easy to see into the room. So like if you live there, like it's just closing your blinds. And it's also kind of one of the older buildings, but other than that, it's a very good location to live in a dorm. Grant also is a very central location. It's close to other buildings and it's very close to the dining hall. It's like right next to Ford. It's also an older building, but it's more down the hill. It's like right behind Ford. Hayes Hall is a little bit away. That one's the transfer dorm, which has parking. It's close. It's the closest building to Hunt. You go to Hunt, it's just like another place to like get Starbucks and like meet your friends and do studying and stuff like that. So it's really close to Hunt. It's also really close to Fitz. So it's closer to the academic buildings on the upper side of campus. About Hayes is it's small. It's right off the main road. So like you're also going to be hearing a lot of people all the time in cars. So it could be loud. And then there's Sherman, which is also a very good prime location. It's close to buildings. It's right by the bus stop, so you don't have to worry about like running to the bus. And it's close to the academic buildings. The cons is that it is an older building, it's loud, and there's no parking. So yeah, those are all the quad style buildings. And then we get to the suites. And all the suite buildings are Blodgett, Curtis, McDuff, and Madison. Blodgett is close to dining halls. It is a very quiet space. Like a lot of the suite style rooms. Oh, by the way, suite style is you get a main common room, a bathroom, and there's 3 rooms off of it, and each fit 2 people, so that's 6 people in one suite. You don't get a kitchen, and there's 1 shower, 1 bathroom stall, and 2 sinks in the bathroom. But basically a lot of the suites are very quiet and not too, it's kind of more out of the way. They're all very close to Mills and Wills. A lot of these ones have parking right next to them, which is super convenient. But they're also a little bit farther away from the academic buildings, which is kind of like annoying. Also for the quad style, I would say my favorite quad style building is I'd probably say it's Ford, just because it's like right there and like I always pass that building, so it was always like, oh, Ford's cute. And then for suites, my favorite obviously is McDuff, just because I lived there for a semester. And I didn't really have a problem with the dorm or anything. They were fairly new dorms, and other than that, like, I thought it was a pretty good, like, living experience. It wasn't like the dorms weren't super old or anything like that, so it was pretty good. And also the view outside of McDuff, I was towards the back, so I got to see all like the fall foliage and everything like that. So it's a very nice spot to live. And then there's the apartment style, which there's currently only 1 apartment style living like building on campus, and it's called Higgins, and it's right next to Holbert, so it's right next to the freshman dorm. And depending on like how old all your people that are living in the room, you can have alcohol on campus. That is the only like wet building on campus. But there's also parking. It's usually the upperclassmen that live there, like juniors and seniors that live in Higgins. And I've been in there, and it reminds me of a dorm, but it has a kitchen and has a living room and a little kitchen with an island kind of thing, and then it has a hallway with a bathroom or 2. and there's like 3 rooms or something like that. I think 2 of them are singles and then one of them's a double. But it does remind me of like living in a dorm. Yeah, I would highly recommend like doing your research. Obviously, if you're a freshman watching this, like you can't choose where you live unless you have like special like circumstances where you have like a wheelchair or something like that. But other than that, like good luck, and I'm sure no matter what dorm you guys end up with, you'll have a great experience. I love all the dorms on SUNY Oneontas campus. But yeah, if you guys have any questions about like living on campus, living off campus, dining hall, food, anything, I can answer it in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram. I'm Parkykins on Instagram. Hope to see you guys in the fall if we ever go back. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Bye.